Good evening and welcome to Millennium Stage. And now, please give a warm welcome to Synetic Theater.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are thrilled to be here tonight. My name is Alex Mills. I'm a company member at Synetic Theater, and we are currently in rehearsals for our production of The Tempest. It's a very splashy show, and by that I mean that we are actually performing in a pool of water. So we opened September 25th at our theater in Crystal City, and I want to be really brief, so we have a lot to show you. So a brief rundown of what to expect in the next hour or so. We're going to do a warm-up to showcase some of the techniques and exercises that we use within the company, and then we are going to present you some scenes that we are currently rehearsing, and you'll get a brief introduction from various cast members in the show. So with that being said, we are going to start. So could I have everyone come out?
si tu Golio estus vejabo Sol que estu jabo si tu Oh sol que estu ma Sol que jabo si tu Golio estus vejabo Sol que estu jabo si tu
All right, hi, hello. My name is Annie Flowers. There's my spot. Hi. I'm a company member with Synetic, and I've been training with them and loving it for 5 years. And while people are getting set up, we're going to present some of the scene selections from the Tempest. And as Alex mentioned, the stage at Synetic will be filled with water, so we invite you to use your imagination. Every scene you're watching, imagine splashes of water coming up from the ground. And also, we have another little twist. Our co-founder and choreographer, Irina, will be playing Prospera. So we've twisted that a little bit. And also, we have our composer, Koki, walking around with a box for people to put your contact info or your business cards in. We're handing out 4 tickets to the Tempest at the end of this evening's performance. So I'm not sure if he's walking around currently. There he is in a red shirt, Koki. So feel free to pop in your business card or write down an email, and we'll draw those at the end of the production. So our next scene, the first scene we're showing, is a conspiracy between Antonia, Prospera's sister. It's a flashback scene. Enjoy.
make me speak after that. Hi, guys. Happy holiday weekend. Thank you guys so much for coming. My name is Scott Brown. I have been fortunate enough to be with the company for 13 wonderful years. And I would just like to tell you that really the highlight of Synetic for me has been the opportunity to take our shows abroad. So you guys might think, a wordless Shakespeare. That's crazy. What you talking about? But what's so wonderful about our wordless Shakespeares is we can take it around the world. We've taken it to Juarez in Chihuahua, Mexico, to the Republic of Georgia, to Massachusetts, strange land, very cold. But what's so wonderful is you don't have to speak English to understand what we're doing. You can understand the storytelling that we're doing. You can understand the story that Shakespeare was writing. Because after all, action speaks louder than words. So, without further ado, our next scene is called Playmates. It is a scene where Sycorax and Caliban, are young, they're growing up, kind of school children, kind of playing on the playground. So without further ado, here's Playmates.
Wow, that was super cool. Not all of us can do that. Vato has this ability of being able to just fly across the stage. It's really amazing. So my name is Katie. I've been with this theater for 12 years. One of the things that makes Synetic really special is the fact that they are in the business of creating worlds. They create worlds through their characterizations. They create it through incredible sets. They create it through the music. They create it through the lighting. During this next scene, what we have is Ariel, who's a spirit, and he's trapped in the body of a tree. And he's been locked in this tree and he can't get out. And two people, Caliban and Prospera, come and unlock him. And one of the things I want you guys to focus on as you're watching this piece is the music and how the music creates this cave, this lagoon, this magical otherworldly place where there's sounds of dripping, there's sounds of echoing off the cave walls, there are trees, there are forests, there are limbs. I want you to imagine, a couple inches of water sort of trickling around the stage, and
and just enjoy the characterizations of the actors and let your imaginations wander. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cian, and I am in the ensemble in this production of The Tempest, and this is my second season with Synetic Theater. In the scene that you're about to see, Prospero has enslaved Ferdinand, and a curious Miranda stops by to help him out in his labors. The two quickly fall head over heels for each other through a romantic and balletic dance. As this happens, we, the audience, get to experience projections and fireworks. Now, as you've been told, the stage is flooded with water, and over here, if you could use your imagination, there is a grand piano with water cascading from the keys. That's where Ferdinand is working. All right, and we get to witness multimedia and technology synced up with the choreography, giving you an interactive experience that creates a sense of visual poetry. I introduce The Secret Engagement.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Vato Tsikurishvili, and I'm playing Caliban in this production. And I heard Scott talk about some of his favorite memories at Synetic, or his favorite part of being in Synetic and whatnot. My favorite part of Synetic is I'm also a teaching artist here, so I get to go around different schools locally, sometimes further away in Baltimore and sometimes even further in Denton, which is by Ocean City. And I get to teach kids of all ages, elementary school, middle school, high school, and I get to teach this art form to them. We go into their schools and we take Shakespeare, take away the text, and put it into body language, kind of the way we do it. And I really enjoy taking this art and spreading it out through the DMV. On top of that, we also have a teen company in which y'all bring y'all kids to our place and we train them there. And we teach them the exact same show we do. So I think this year we're gonna do Teen Hamlet, potentially, and they're gonna do the exact same production we did. The same lights, the same characters, the same music, the same costume, the same dancing, the same counts, everything the same. And they're gonna work directly with me. They're gonna work directly with our Prospera, Miss Irina Tsikurishvili. You know who she is, you've seen her. So that's what I like. That's what I love doing. I like educating. I also teach adults if you guys are interested. So does Mr. Alex. We all have classes there, so come check us out in that regard. Koki is somewhere out in the house right now. He's got a box. I think we mentioned it earlier. You just put your business card or take a piece of paper, rip it off, write your name on it, write your telephone number, email address, drop it in. 4 free tickets. Before I announce this scene, quick question. Has anyone been to a Synetic show before in the audience? Anyone? Oh, wow, look at that. All right, at least 2 shows. Who's seen 2 shows? Can I get 2? What about 3? Can I get 3 shows? What about, okay, I'm just kidding, you guys got a lot. Who's never been to a Synetic show, ever? Oh, well, welcome to Synetic, my friends. I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing. This next scene we're about to do is we call the Three Stooges. Caliban recruits Stefano and Triculo. I can never say that last name. I know, my last name is Tsikurishvili and I can't say Triculo. It's mind-boggling. But I recruit the 2 of them on a mission to go and kill Prospera. Well, it doesn't quite work out that way. Ariel interrupts us, and you'll see. He manipulates us a little bit and foils all my plans.
My name is Megan. I've been a Synetic company member for the past couple of years. I've been with the company for 3 years. That last scene is one of my favorite to watch. I think it does a really good job of showing how we use not just the movement, but sound and eventually lighting to tell the story. This last bit that we're about to do for you, as with any of Shakespeare's comedies, it's going to end with a wedding, as is. So after all of this chaos ensues and is resolved, Ferdinand and Miranda get married, and it's a very beautiful moment, and this is the joyous celebratory dance that we will do for you. Enjoy.
everybody. I'm Pada Sikurishvili, founding artistic director of Synetic Theater and director of this production. Hope you enjoy it.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Najum. I am Synetic's managing director, and we're so thrilled that you guys are here tonight. It is tonight. So we have about 18 minutes, and we're going to open up the floor for questions. And Jacob is here to pass the mic around. So raise your hand if you have any questions.
So questions to us, questions to actors. Silent. One of the big.
Thank you. The music is quite remarkable. Could you tell us something about it? Is it all synthesized? The first piece almost seemed to have elements of Middle Eastern music in it. It would be enlightening if you told us something about the music.
We have a composer in the house, actually the Koki, who's running with the box. Okay. It's a great question. We always have questions about music. It's sometimes which one is first, music or the scene, and it's chicken and egg question, but specific.
So yes, I'm using both. My name is Koki Lorkipanidze, I'm a composer from Synetic Theater. I'm using both, like synthesizers, digital synthesizers, and also I'm using loops, and sometimes it's like acoustic instruments, so that's why it's combined both. So that's why sometimes you hear Middle Eastern music, European music, I don't know, African, South American, so it doesn't matter. I'm using everything. So synthesized music and acoustic recorded music.
Microphone? Can we have microphone here?
Just repeat the question. How do you protect your knees?
Oh, how you protect your knees?
Yeah, sometimes we don't, but we wear knee pads. Some of us have knee pads and some of us forget them, and we just get a lot of bruises.
Also, knee pads are incorporated into a lot of the costuming, which is awesome. So you can still have the beautiful costume on the outside, and then you have padding on the inside.
And then, of course, the most important way we do it is just by practice, practice, practice. Lots of repetitions. Nothing we perform is something we've never practiced. We practice a lot. We practice on mats. We make sure we get it. We make sure we get it safe. And we can do it 10 out of 10. Sometimes we go with 9.5 out of 10, but usually it's 10 out of 10 before we put it on stage. So repetition in a safe space first.
Just to add on top of that, I think we do about 30 hours of rehearsal a week to give you guys context.
So how long have you all been studying dance or acrobatics or whatever? Did you start when you were 5? Or
And we'll go down the line, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of us who didn't really study dance, but we studied acting first. I started dancing my sophomore year in college. I ended up with a dance minor, but I really started late, so I consider myself just an actor that moves, but definitely maybe not a dancer.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the camp, started more in like the athletic world and then got into theater and picked up bits and pieces, but I really fell in love with physical theater, probably as a post-grad, and then just training with Synetic.
I think the first dance I learned was tap dance, so I don't believe that has a lot of relationship to this show. But I studied theater for movement, so I studied Grotowski, Meyerhold, biomechanics, Oban. So yeah, no formal dance training.
I started in ballet at 11, and then I moved into theater in college.
So in my case, I started doing theater, and then, well, right now I have this great opportunity, so I'm giving my dance part and all the things I know, and I hope I'm giving the best.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have not much dance training. Everything I've learned in dance has come from my mom, wherever she's at, but not at a young age. Like I learned that, at a young age, she taught me some mime. I got that when I was little. But football was my background until Synetic came around.
I started dancing when I was 23. Yeah.
I started dancing when I was 6, and I studied for 12 years of professional ballet education.
I also started when I was 6, but not professional, and then I moved into theater when I was in high school, studied theater in college, and I joined this company around that same time.
I just did some musical theater in high school, and then everything else I've learned has been with Synetic for the past 2-ish years.
I did a little gymnastics growing up, and then I joined here when I was 19, so I give my training to Synetic. Forever.
So the water is just going to be amazing. I mean, you got a little bit of a taste of it in particular in that last piece. What did you do? What are you able to do as a director, and what do you have to deal with as dancers with this other element?
Thank you. Great question. Now, first of all, water has its own movement. It's unpredictable. It reflects. It's shine. It's magic. I mean, that's what I've experienced dealing with. Then put actors on it and movement and dance. It's whole another world. I'll be honest that, frankly, first time when we moved on the stage with the water, there was no show. It was just splashes. So, and then we had to tame water in our way. So it took time. But again, a company like this trained well from multi-disciplines in different art forms. You can tell. So they can really nail it down. So, it's amazing experience for myself from outside, but let's see what you think.
As an actor, I would just say for us, we can't relax at any moment. I would say the moment that you just relax and you're not focused, you will slip and fall on your head. So you just got to stay focused and know that you got to know where you're stepping.
We have special shoes too.
And we're going to have special water shoes for the show that helps apply some grip.
Besides slipping, it's cold. Sometimes very cold. I prefer that, but to each their own. One thing that we have to also make sure as artists, when we're performing on this surface, on this stage, we're still focused and we're driven, but we're not like careful of our stepping and whatnot. But in the pool, you have to make sure you're stepping vertically. Absolutely nothing lateral. As soon as you step laterally, you're gonna go down. So yeah, cold and you need to focus.
This is a question for the red girl in the shirt. The red shirt.
Yeah, all right. That's why I wore a red shirt.
Do you have a favorite song to dance to?
Ooh, a favorite song? Good question. I think my favorite song, let's go with Happy. That's a good song to dance to.
Thank you.
Just dance to all of them. I love dancing to all the songs. I could dance all the time.
For how long did you guys practice?
For my perspective, it takes 8 weeks to work with actors to practice, but the process starts a little bit early, like 2 months ahead at least.
Well, for example, some things are really quick. Like the dance that we did at the end, we learned on Tuesday. So.
Yeah, we are still in process, so we're gonna tweak and clean it up.
We also have training periods throughout the year so that we can all stay limber and stay fit and learn, continue to mature our physical vocabulary so that when rehearsal does start on a show, we're already a certain degree of ready to begin.
So is this full-time, part-time? You have jobs, you go to work, you dance? I think there's several of us that have actually talked about this, so we're very curious. And what a wonderful job. Thank you.
Guys, raise your hand if you have a day job. So after working about 40 or 50 hours a week, raise your hand if you come and rehearse for another 30.
Well said.
One of Cirque du Soleil's best-known works is O. I don't know how many of you have seen that, and if so, has that influenced this production?
Of course. Cirque du Soleil has always been inspiration source personally for me. because the ability that they can tell the story, this is amazing. And then also invention on the way they put up things, it's amazing. Yes.
So if I am talking to someone who's never seen Synetic before, I will sometimes maybe inaccurately be like, it's kind of like if you took Cirque du Soleil and made it a theater performance of classical work. But actually I think what we do is so different because of our characterizations and the depth that we go to in our relationships with each other as characters and as the story progresses. So I'd be really interested, now that you guys have seen this work, if you have ideas of how you think an exciting way to describe the work that you just saw is, that would make sense to someone who's never seen it before, come and tell us, because I feel like I need better descriptors on how to describe my work to people who haven't seen this kind of work before.
So well said, and I just would say that Synetic, a word itself, it's a hybrid word. It's a synthesis and kinetic combined. So to create, visual and to put together dynamic art forms, basically.
Is there something very special about Shakespeare that draws you to do the plays?
Of course. Number one, I would say Shakespeare is Georgian. Just joking. The reason I'm saying is it has been translated so many languages, and when I read it many, many years ago, I felt it was so Georgian, and then we really dived into it. Another thing is, of course, the Shakespeare is the most the complex and then interesting playwright for me, because the imagery and then relationships and the characters and the history, you name it, anything in a Shakespeare is so close, I believe, to all of us, and just...
Yeah, to go off that, I think something you hear a lot is that Shakespeare is universal, which I think is very true, not just in that the stories last hundreds of years as they have. Gender swapping, there are so many characters, I think at least 3 characters in our production that have been gender swapped. And then also the fact that we can take the words away and still tell the story, and like Scott mentioned early on in this program, take it to different countries and people can still relate and enjoy.
Hi. First of all, it was an amazing job. You guys are really, really talented. This question is more for the actors that didn't have that much experience with dancing before this. So was it hard for you to express an entire play without words?
Yes and no, both at the same time. Depends on what we're expressing. Not having any dance background kind of made it easier for me to pick up a new vocabulary, because really you're learning a new language. Everybody has body language. We all communicate just like the way we sit and the way we think and react to things, just the way we do our everyday things. We're already using our body language, but then dancing is a very specific discipline, and it creates these lines, and it creates a certain vocabulary, a certain body language. It's like the French of body language. Let's say, just making it up. Let's say it's the French of body language, and then perhaps he's asking us to do a scene, but he doesn't want dance. He just wants this particular dialogue to exist, this particular dialogue to happen. So he wants us to speak English of body language. Well, I had no background, so for me, it was very easy just to learn, versus have to forget, relearn, rewire my brain to communicate a new message or whatnot. I just started by learning. I'm not sure who's talking, so I'm just generally looking in this direction, but the lady that asked, for me, it was kind of more about learning it rather than having to deconstruct a little bit and then learn again, if that makes sense. It was almost easier that it was a clean slate.
I have a musical theater background, so it was very hard for me to wrap my head around. I can't sing and I can't talk to anybody. Fortunately, after my audition, there was a newbie training period where I got to come in and learn the Synetic vocabulary and learn how to open my mind and think outside the box. And it's slowly getting easier, but yeah, it's workable, it's doable.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you guys all so much for coming tonight. As we described so many times, there's so much in a production of Synetic that is not movement. It's them interacting with lighting, sound, water in this case. And so we would love for you to check us out in Crystal City. There was some information on your seats. We do 5 shows a year. The next one, The Tempest, starts September 25th and runs until the middle of October. Regular tickets start as low as $35, and for students and folks under 30, as low as $20. And if Koki can come up with the box, we're gonna see who wins 4 tickets to The Tempest. Oh, some last minute. All right, shake it up. There we go. All right. Let's see. Okay. Someone used a program. Good recycling. Michael Weiss, raise your hand. Awesome. Come see me after. And we hope to see all of you in Crystal City sometime this year. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your Labor Day weekend. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming tonight to see Synetic Theater at the Millennium stage. This show is actually a part of the Page to Stage New Play Festival. For those of you who are off work tomorrow and looking for something to do, we have over 40 free plays here at the Kennedy Center tomorrow. They're all new works by local DC theater companies, so please come support some free theater. Thank you so much.